Ahmad Raza Kasuri of the All India All Pakistan Muslim League, Syed Tariq Pirzada from Islamabad, Strategic Affairs Analyst, Brigadier Javed Hussain, who's formerly been with the Pakistan Army Special Forces. And from the Indian side, Colonel Anil Kaul, General G.D. Bakshi and Maruf Raza. Predictable end. We could have actually read the script a few days back. Tariq Pirzada, can you hear me? We could have read the script. If you'd asked me what is going to happen in Pakistan, I could have read it out to you. You're going to fall apart. There's a coup around the corner. Qadri is on the streets. The Pakistan army does not listen to Parvez Musharraf anymore. And even the otherwise insignificant Imran Khan has become a threat to your fragile democracy. So you pull out the Kashmir card? What a terrible film script. What a terrible film script this has become, Mr. Pirzada. Must be embarrassing for you as well. You must know it by heart by now.
Well, your problem is that you wish that Pakistan fall apart, and that has not happened, and that will not happen, and maybe India will fall apart, but not Pakistan. Number two, because of a democratic movement in Pakistan, Pakistan is more integrated,
and I know the comparison with India will become
ever
stronger
before in its history.
Well,
Pakistan has.
I just want to repeat what Nawaz Sharif said today. Nawaz Sharif says we can't normalize relationships without settling Kashmir. You know, this is such an old rant. He knows Kashmir is not the main source of tension that is straining ties. It's not.
You know,
it is state-sponsored terrorism from Pakistan. Kashmir is not the main source of tension that is straining ties with India. It is your unwillingness to act on Hafiz Saeed and the JUD. Anil Kaul and Maruf Raza on the eve of our Independence Day, on another troubled Independence Day for Pakistan. Maruf, should wiser sense have prevailed? Why has Nawaz Sharif done this U-turn? Why has Nawaz Sharif done this U-turn?
Pakistan, that we have an integrating national democratic movement in Pakistan, which you can only wish for.
It is only apparent to me you did a U-turn. I am only analysing why that happened. Maruf.
Yeah, Arnab, let me, if our distinguished Pakistani guests will allow me just 1 or 2 minutes quickly, there was already a lot of tension between Nawaz Sharif and the army on 2 issues earlier. He wanted peace with Taliban and talks with Taliban. The army wanted the military approach. He wanted to go strongly on Musharraf's treason trials. The army was keen that, Musharraf should now be given an honorable exit. And I believe a few days ago, Mr. Sharif met the National Security Council, in which the army and him disagreed even on his desire to go ahead for bilateral relations with India on a more peaceful note. And therefore, Mr. Modi's remarks have further accentuated the situation for Nawaz Sharif, who has obviously now decided that there is no other recourse for him but to play the Kashmir record, which is something which virtually across Pakistan has sympathy and support. So he's gone back to rallying support, because please understand, I said this a year ago when Nawaz Sharif came to power, that if Nawaz Sharif doesn't deliver on 2 issues, Nawaz Sharif doesn't deliver, no, Arnab, please hear me. If Nawaz Sharif doesn't deliver on 2 issues, the economy and battling internal security and terrorism, he will go back to threats from the army that he is as good or as bad as any of the other civilian leaders. And then they all start rallying on the Kashmir card, because please understand, Kashmir is the only bonding adhesive which keeps all Pakistanis together. All other issues they are divided on. Whatever Mr. Pirzada and whatever other distinguished guests of Pakistan.
That's all right. Mr. Pirzada has to parrot that line, because, you know, otherwise he'll have to address a few more serious issues, such as Hafiz Saeed, such as 2611. You know,
because Nawaz Sharif is not being able to put any deliverables on the
Road.
Yes.
Nawaz Sharif doesn't have any deliverables on that.
Red Mosque.
Yes.
Babri Mosque, I mean.
Yes. Happy, difficult 68th Independence
and killing of Muslims in Madras.
Sir, one question. And
Mr. Modi's hand soaked with the Muslim blood.
Mr. Kasuri, you know, if Nawaz Sharif needed an excuse, he could have just not said anything. But what has appeared quite clearly to me today is the fact that not only do you have a dummy government, you have a dummy Prime Minister. He looks so weak, unsure of himself, under pressure, almost giving an excuse for not being able to live up to his own promise of improving the relationship with India. What we want to know all across India is till 2 weeks back, right, Maruf, GD Bakshi? Till 2 weeks back, Anil called, 2 weeks back. He just wanted to improve the relationship, period. Today he says, I can't do anything, Colonel Anil call. He says, I can't do anything because of Kashmir. So Kashmir is brought up as a speed breaker because he can't say that actually I'm not in control. I have a gun to my head right now and I have to back off. GD Bakshi, after that, I'm going back to Islamabad. GD Bakshi, go ahead.
You know, Arnab, the condition of Mr. Nawaz Sharif is a trite pitiable. He just said a few, days back that he wants at the National Security Council meeting that he wants to, have peace with India.
Yes.
It is in the interests of both the nations. A very, very reasonable statement. But you see the reaction. Today he is in a double pincer. There is a march that Imran Khan is leading. There is another march, that Qadri Sahab is leading. He is caught in a pincer. The army is turning the screws. The army is applying the pressure. And to save his skin, he is back on the Kashmir hype. It is a familiar pattern that we have seen with Pakistan. Patterns tend to persist and do not change.
No, I think, however, we must.
So in 47.
No,
so
General
in
Bakshi.
so in Kargil.
General Bakshi, we must give one chance. Colonel Kaul, I will give one chance to our Pakistani guests to explain. Maybe Javed Hussain or Kasuri ji can explain that what happened in their view. That the Prime Minister had to embarrass himself like this? I mean, after all, whatever said and done, he may be weak, he may be a dummy Prime Minister, but he's still a Prime Minister at least, To have to appear to eat his own words after saying to the ISI chief and the army chief 2 days back that we must just improve relationships with India. I'm very unhappy we don't have better relationship with India. Today to bring up this Kashmir excuse, what happened, Mr. Kasuri? Brigadier Javed Hussain, what happened? Yes, Mr. Kasuri.
Just a minute.
Yeah, because we are not used to such.
I have a strong reservation.
Yes.
I have a strong reservation of Mia Nawaz Sharif home policy. But what he has stated about 2 days back is the correct stand of the government of Pakistan and the people of Pakistan. Kashmir remains the unfinished agenda of the partition of subcontinent. And according to Qaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, Kashmir is a jugular vein. It is an integral part of Pakistan.
Sir,
Pakistan is not complete without Kashmir.
Those boring 60-year-old lines need to be rewritten.
I'm grateful. We will get Kashmir along with your dams. See, that time is not very far away when we will get back Kashmir along with your dams.
Sir, Mr. Kasuri, I don't want to, go into a childish debate on Independence Day. I can understand that for Pakistan and for the people of Pakistan.
It's very serious debate, and I'm talking very seriously.
I'm talking seriously. I can understand that for the people of Pakistan, every Independence Day must remind you of how far you have been left behind and where India has come. But I don't want to underscore that, because it's not the occasion. It's not the occasion to play on that contrast. So, what happened, Javed Hussain? Why did the Nawaz Sharif do this? Why did he say one thing 2 days back and change his line today? What happened? Was he blackmailed by the army?
Not at all.
You see, let me.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Let me start by saying.
Go ahead, Brigadier. Go ahead, Brigadier. What happened?
Let me start by saying, you just mentioned dummy government. Well, I can say the same. You have a dummy government when it comes to the Maoists and the Naxalites. You are using the paramilitary forces at cannon fodder.
So
thousands have been butchered.
Let's have a serious discussion.
But you want to discuss Kashmir.
Let's have a serious discussion. Let's have
you
a
want to talk
discussion.
about Kashmir.
No, how did Kashmir become...
Let me say this. Hold on. Yaar, let me finish. You asked me a question. So you should be patient enough to wait for the answer.
You're not answering my question.
I'm coming to your question.
Thank you.
I'm coming to your question. Look, every man has a right to his opinion. But no man has the right to be wrong in his facts.
No, so
you are wrong in your facts. 2 facts. 2. 1, that Kashmir is a dispute. Until resolved, it will remain a dispute. Two, there is insurgency going on in occupied Kashmir against occupation forces. But you blame it on Pakistan even when in Srinagar.
Sir, it's failed. It's failed.
A patrol is ambushed.
Sir, it's failed, sir. You know that. Sir, you know.
An army post is raided.
You know that everybody
Now,
makes. Everybody
my third
across.
point. Hold on.
Brigadier, now I want to say one thing to you, sir, Brigadier. Brigadier, one thing to you, sir. Brigadier, at a personal level, I have no quarrel with you.
Let me finish.
You can't make factually incorrect comments and get away with it. My question to you was, why do you think your Prime Minister embarrassed himself? Why do you think the Pakistan Prime Minister embarrassed the office he holds? Why do you think the Pakistan Prime Minister embarrassed the people of Pakistan? Why do you think the Pakistan Prime Minister did a U-turn? You know it is because the army blackmailed him.
That is my third point.
There's no doubt the army blackmailed him.
Sharif.
The army blackmailed him.
Forget about Nawaz Sharif, Arnab.
I am talking about Nawaz Sharif.
Forget about Nawaz Sharif.
I am talking about Nawaz Sharif. I am talking about Nawaz Sharif. Why don't you want to talk about Nawaz Sharif?
Okay. If Nawaz Sharif goes, somebody else comes.
There you are.
Comes.
I think that
and
reveals
whoever keeps coming.
Whoever keeps coming.
For him,
oh yes,
the K factor will be the key factor.
Maruf and Anil
the
call.
Kashmir factor.
Maruf, Anil call. Genie Bakshi, we have responses coming in. Maruf first.
You have to resolve that dispute.
No.
You cannot
parrot the line. Maruf, 1 second.
Brigadier Hussain.
With your permission,
Brigadier Hussain. Arnab, Mr. Kusuri, or Brigadier Hussain, and all other Pakistani distinguished guests. You will continue to rant about Kashmir because that is your only bonding adhesive.
Only thing.
Islam doesn't keep you together. Anti-Indianism and Kashmir as a symbol of anti-Indianism keeps you together.
That's right.
So I don't blame you, but get real, sir. Smell the coffee. You know, understand.
You think we have also lost our identity in Pakistan? No. You are just a stooge of the majority of Hindu India and paid by raw.
You guys. Let me tell you one thing. Let me tell you one thing. You guys thump your chest about Islamic identity, but you are one of the biggest embarrassments. You guys are an embarrassment to the Islamic community. You are promoting, you are doing
now can I come in, please?
Which is against the tenets of the Prophet. So please don't give me lectures. Please don't give me lectures. You are an embarrassment and you are factually wrong. And you people, all of you.
Referendum
tomorrow. More loyal than the Hindu could be loyal to India. And I don't blame you
for a referendum within Pakistan
for independence.
Therefore, I don't blame you.
I have met the Kashmiris.
I don't have much respect for your
Let me tell you one thing, Arnab.
Because you are not a free man.
I have met the Kashmiris.
You are living in a bondage.
Mr. Kasuri and Gen.
I'm telling you.
There are. Mr. Kasuri.
Every Kashmiri I spoke to.
Let me tell you one thing,
Mr. Kasuri.
Opt out of India.
Mr. Kasuri, understand what you do.
Mr. Maruf,
none of them
wants to opt out of Pakistan.
Wants Indian administration.
Why did Sharif, Maruf, 1 second, Maruf, 1 second, Maruf a minute, no, Maruf a minute. Colonel Anil Kaul, my question to you in Delhi is this. Colonel Kaul, my question is to you. Why do you think our Pakistani guests on the Newshour tonight don't have a single answer? Anil Kaul, have you noticed it? I've asked the question 10 times. Not once have they been able to explain that why did their Prime Minister do a U-turn, Colonel Kaul?
I think I have the answer, and I will probably be able to prompt them into giving that answer. Firstly, let me congratulate our 3 Pakistani friends. Sir, let me finish. I didn't interrupt when you were talking. First of all, let me congratulate our 3 Pakistani guests on their Independence Day today.
Thank you.
I hope they reciprocate it for our Independence Day tomorrow. Nevertheless, 68 years.
Thank you.
And in my 68 years, in my opinion, independence, they broke away from the IN, from the independence that was India. And they became dependent. And they have been dependent on various things from various people. including the West for economic, financial and food aid, oil from the Middle East. When the West stopped giving them conventional weapons, they got aid from China for their missiles and their nuclear, so they were dependent on China. From the jihadists,
You shifted from Russia
they were
to
dependent
America.
on the proxy war. And to run the government, they are dependent on the army. Now, coming to the moot point of why Mr. Nawaz Sharif has done a turnaround.
Yeah, why
is
has
the
Nawaz
last
Sharif
bit.
done this?
Nothing is big. Because he depends on the army to run his government. He has no choice. And once
No, but
Mr.
doesn't
Modi
he
made
remember-
that statement,
but-
he had no answer.
But doesn't he remember?
They forget
Pirzada,
very easily.
Mr. Pirzada, Mr. Pirzada, after all, he's a Prime Minister. Doesn't he remember what he said 48 hours back? Do Prime Ministers do this?
Do I have the permission?
You have the permission. You have the permission.
All right, now let's
Go
let's
ahead,
be
but
quiet
I don't
for
think
1
you have
minute.
an argument.
All right, here is the answer.
You have the
I
permission,
can
but
tell
you
you
don't
one
have an
thing.
argument tonight, Mr. Pirzada.
I have an argument.
You don't. I've
Let
asked
me
you the
make
question
one.
4 times. You are not usually
No,
so
you're not.
quiet.
Okay.
And-
because
and-
you never
and-
make sense when you ask
And
a
as
question.
far as the
Here is
Kashmir
the-
card is concerned, Brigadier Javed Hussain, I am a Kashmiri and I don't think any one of us belong to your side. So when you talk about referendum, first clear out of Pak occupied Kashmir, then we'll talk of referendum.
Well
Oh,
said.
well, there are a lot
And
of
what
people
your
different
stooges,
You could be one.
what your
Hold the
stooges
referendum
did
and
to
vote.
the, what your stooges did to the
Let me
Kashmir,
address your
Hold the
question.
what your
referendum
stooges
and
did
vote.
to the Kashmiri pundits is an open. What your stooges did to the Kashmiri pundits is an
Kashmir
open
a Muslim
book.
majority territory.
You
The
are
pundits,
responsible
the
for
Hindus
the situation
don't
in your
matter.
own country
The Hindus
and also
the
outside.
pundits Don't matter. You guys are irrelevant in this.
What do you mean they don't matter?
dispute and discussion.
It is the
You appear to
it
be
is
a
the
Moshe
I'm
Dehan of
sorry.
Kashmir.
Let me,
You are
let
Moshe
me
Dian of-
answer
No,
your
he was
question.
the Israeli version of call.
And let-
He was the
Let me
Israeli
answer
version of
Arnab
call.
Goswami's question.
Nawaz Sharif
I asked the question.
hardly any
I asked the question.